where we'll bring you live coverage with roving reporters spread across the province. My name is Asanda Mbete. There's an atmosphere of calm in the Western Cape as we approach the 2016 municipal elections. Just over 3 million people are registered to vote in the province this week. To get a sense of critical issues for some communities in the rural parts of the Western Cape, we turn our focus to Oudtshoorn, a hotly contested municipality in the Little Karoo. It's the largest town in the Little Karoo region and home to the world's largest ostrich population. It's an agriculture hub, a tourist and art lovers destination. The town has faced political instability over the past few years. National government intervened and appointed an administrator. Our colleague Sagri Chetty reports that the intervention has restored hope for the town's population of about 60,000 people.
Political instability in Oudtshoorn has threatened to tear the town apart. The last municipal election saw the DA and COPE coalition wrest control from the ANC. But the ANC would not go quietly. What followed was years of court cases amounting to millions. The municipality faced allegations of corruption and maladministration, a threat by Eskom to cut off power, and the stalling of a multi-million rand housing project due to non-payment. Provincial and national government then stepped in and handed the reins over to Administrator Cam Chetty. Chetty and his team have been working hard to turn things around since August last year.
We had 160 million rand, which was a budget overrun, in addition, or a budget deficit, in addition about 310 million rands in debt. And that created this huge financial problem. In addition to that, we had the Kango Caves, which didn't have any operating budget. We had a municipality that took housing money and used it for operations, so we couldn't function. And serious problem was that we could only address the wastewater, in other words, the sewage, only 50% of the capacity of sewage.
A recent forensic investigation found cases of widespread fraud and corruption. Chetty's team is trying to dispose of more than 400 extra jobs, which added to the municipality's already inflated salary bill.
Starting from fraud to mismanagement and to corruption. So in those cases, what we've done is we have then started to send letters to staff, and where it is possible, we've moved staff or we have suspended staff. In terms of the regulations, and we're following this to the book, right? The municipal manager is conducting further investigations, and we will hold hearings in the future, like disciplinary hearings with all of those staff. In addition, the provincial government is looking at the possibility of criminal charges and has spoken to the directors of public prosecution and the police about criminal charges.
Concerned residents are adamant that a leadership change is needed.
And if you are elected, you must stop with your politicking. You must serve the public. Every representative is then a representative of the whole public, no matter to which party I belong. I also think in Oudtshoorn, the workers, the administration get involved in politics. So there's a mixture of, they do not do their job, they get involved in political fighting, and that must also stop.
The town's clergy have also come together to pray for divine intervention for the upcoming municipal elections. They believe strong leadership that puts the people's needs first will save their town.
There's one common feeling, and that is one of disappointment. When you appoint leaders, especially thinking back of what the Constitution requires, then leaders should be there to fulfill their mandate, and that is to serve the community and not themselves. In Oudtshoorn, for the past few years, it was more a case where people, leaders, were there to take care of themselves and not as such taking care of the community.
They need leaders that can stand up and to give them a better life, better futures. And that is what they are looking for, and that's why we as church standing on after that Mr. Chetty call us all the Christian leaders together help them and to guide them and to help the people to get a better life in Oudtshoorn.
While the municipal finances are taking a U-turn, it's hoped that the local economy will also benefit.
I think what Oudtshoorn really need is for the provincial government and the national government to invest in Oudtshoorn. They must spend money, they must identify certain projects so that there can be a big work provider again that can provide work for, say, 1,500 people, so that they can create jobs. That's what we need. We are thankful for the art festival and for all the other role players, but we need that.
The administrator says Oudtshoorn has huge potential and there are multi-million rand investment projects in the pipeline. Segri Chetty, SABC News, Oudtshoorn in the Little Karoo.
Well, those are the issues that really matter to communities at Oudtshoorn. Joining us now to talk on key areas of interest at a number of municipalities in the province, we have Dr. Zwelinzima Mandevu from the University of Stellenbosch. Let's start off with Oudtshoorn, where we've been just now in the insert. What do you believe would be key deciding factors for people in that municipality to have stability going forward?
In that municipality, I don't think track record will count, because both big parties have tried and they've both failed. I think smaller parties are going to play a major role in that particular municipality, because people are going to look at a different view. They are going to look at change, and the only change that they can get at that particular municipality is smaller parties. So I think that's what is going to be a defining factor.
Let's move to other towns in the Southern Cape. We've got George, whose mayor has recently resigned. We've got Knysna, that's also had stability issues, but also Mossel Bay has also had its own challenges. What do you think would be major issues for people in those communities as they go to vote this week?
My belief is that in George, starting with George, is that the mayor resigning will not play any role. As that mayor, I don't think he was very popular within the municipality, but programs, initiatives by the municipality will play a bigger role. If you go to Mossel Bay, for example, there is an influx of people from disadvantaged communities. I think that is going to swing the vote around. So it's not going to be a traditional one party or a dominant party particular process, but there is going to be definitely a change in terms of that. In Knysna, I think there is no stability there, and you can realize that there is no stability. So I think the roaming around of ICOSA might have an influence there as a political party. So I don't think there will be a clear majority.
Selendam has also had some issues in administration as well as political stability. What can we look out for there?
In Soledad, it will be a similar scenario where you would get smaller parties taking over. But I can tell you that normally the history with Soledad is that the party that doesn't rule at that particular point in time, in the next elections, they try and have a bigger influence, because it depends how quick or how high you're shouting, then you get influence. I think that's what's going to happen there.
Let's bring it back to the Cape Metro, the province's only metro. There's been serious concerns about sanitation. The way sanitation was a key issue in the 2014 general elections, which led to the rise of the Ses'khona People's Movement. What other issues do you think people in the Cape Metro are concerned about besides sanitation this year?
I think they would be concerned about the issue of drugs, gangsterism in the Western Cape, and the role that a city has played. I think that is going to play a major factor. And of course, you're going to also have the issue with Ses'khona, the fact that they're divided now in terms of leadership. One is putting their support behind the ANC, and the other one behind the DA. And also the fact that the opposition party in this particular city, which is the Cape Town, also doesn't seem until now to be playing a major role in terms of influencing and mobilizing communities around issues. That might also swing the vote. But I think the status quo might remain, but there will be marginal differences in terms of the votes and numbers.
Loyiso Gwahla's defection from Ses'khona, do you think it will have an impact in the DA support in the traditionally black community like Khayelitsha?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think with Khayelitsha, people are still voting in a block. And although the DA last week had a hall that was full of DA members, but I don't think that will translate into vote necessarily. So it will not have an impact.
As we wrap it up for the Western Cape and Cape Town, the Cape Metro in particular, do you think that the response by the city of Cape Town to have a focused unit to deal with gangsterism, do you think that that intervention came on time?
I think it was too late, that intervention, because it came a few weeks ago. I think it would have been better for the city to have dealt with this issue as early as possible, but they have waited until very late, and people are seeing through that. And the other issue that might be at play is how you can people to the voting station in those areas who might think about safety as well. So I think it came very late.
Well, Dr. Ndevu, thank you very much for your insight on this issue. We'll discuss this and other issues as we go into the week. Well, that's all we have time for this evening with Dr. Ndevu. There's also Professor Kluter will also be joining us in the morning. So issues around sanitation, safety in the Cape Metro, and other issues of stability will be key factors for elections in the Western Cape. Let's take it back to Tshwane for now.
Thank you very much. And that's how we start wrapping this special election broadcast here at the IEC Results Operations Centre, The Rock. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Yeah, we are back with more election news and analysis tomorrow, same time, same place. So stay tuned for more of our rolling coverage after the short break. Eben and his team, Your World, will be up next. So stay tuned.